Right, this is part 18 now. Continued reading the diary. Wizard, 7:15 on the 20th September 2006. I have had what I would call a blinding day. I started playing just after 10 a.m. I bought a loaf of bread for 39 cents and a ginger cake 35 cents. Then I started off the day skint after that. I've been trying harder and harder to sing, and practice does seem to be improving things a bit, if not making them quite perfect. Who wants perfect anyway? I do not think there are any bum notes when you are playing guitar. As I'm singing in English, I just try and keep things in tune rather than worry about the words being in the right order. It seems to be a hit with the punters. By 1 p.m, I had about €8, so I decided to take a break at 2 p.m, straight to Wizard with no direction problems. I bought a €5 drawer of Snow White Highmel, which I'm now smoking. I bought a coffee and sampled a king-size joint of Snow White. It is good weed, but it does not seem quite as good as NLX. Mind you, I did not overload the joint, as I would like to do a bit more busking later. After the joint, I resisted the temptation to buy another cup of coffee and just smoked a few fags until my baccy ran out. If there is one thing that forces me to play, it is having no baccy. The sun was still shining, and after a rest and a good joint, I was in a good mood. I really tried to give it some with the singing, and it seemed to pay off. By 5 p.m, I had at least enough for baccy, which I bought straight away in case I forgot and the shop shut on me. Wizard, 7:30 in the evening. Before I started the afternoon session, I went into Lidl and bought a loaf of bread and a jar of jam with the last of the morning's earnings. That put me back to zero cash, but I was chilled and did not mind a bit. I did not waste time stopping for fags, and the euros kept coming in. All I played today is beautiful, which I am happy with, however I play it. The only other thing I played was Blowing in the Wind and Watchtower. The only other song of mine I'm playing is That Day, only I have to put an F in to start. Brown, brown eyes, red, red hair. How could I forget? 'Cause you're not there. I just go back to A for a bit before carrying on. Tomorrow I'll work out a better bridge. The Cooks are on the stereo, singing Bedford Dreams anyway. I have left the guitar outside again, and I'm not going to bring it in unless I am asked. I've not seen Case today, but we'll see if I can find his place later. Case sounds like a bloke Danny met in Amsterdam, who was asking him to fuck his bitch, man. He definitely called his wife bitch, which I really don't like. Very disrespectful to women. All morning I was looking for my plectrum without success. I was about to ask in Wizard when the barmaid gave it to me, saying that she found it last night. That was a big boost and really made me look forward to the afternoon session. The guitar is definitely sounding better anyway. Arctic Monkeys playing on the stereo now. I think the barmaid is a big fan. I'm going to wrap another king-size joint and blow another €1.20 on a coffee. Tom has such a great voice, or should that be Alex? I do not know if I mentioned it, but in Assen it sounded like I was parked next to Charlotte Church. Gavin! Gavin! She sounded just like the Mickey tape I have on Chiltern Radio. I'm a bit wrecked now. That's fine by me at the moment. On the way here I bought €5 of fuel, so I have enough petrol for about 40 kilometres. I might just have a day off tomorrow if I can find Casey's place. I hope to find it tonight. Van Caffey, Alsterbliff. That leaves me with 70 cents to start tomorrow. Like I say, I could do with a day off really. I think being near a lot of 50-cent pieces from the returned trolleys helps, but today I had 4 €2 pieces, which was a right result in the afternoon session. I can't think of a lot more to say really, so I'm going to enjoy my coffee hot with my joint. Borga, 21st of September 06. And I'll stop this one now, so that'll be a good place to stop. Amazing. Only 6 minutes. I'll tell you what, I'll carry on reading for another few minutes. Today has been a lazy day. I did not sleep much last night, but when I did sleep, it was done on the bench opposite Wizard. Whenever I started to feel the cold, I just ate. I had pindakas sarnies to eat, as well as muffins and a piece of saved ginger cake. It was a long night once I woke up. I was well wrecked when I left Wizard, but mostly I left because my boots were stinking out the place again. It was so embarrassing. I had one more joint on the bench outside and just fell asleep sitting there. Borga, 2:30 p.m, 21st. In Wizard, I wrapped a top quality 2 king-size Rizzler 2 Skinner that finished up about 9 inches long. I was well proud of it, but after smoking it, there was no way I was going to ride the TDM without a couple of hours to come down a bit. I was wrecked big time. I must have had a couple of 1 Skinner king-size joints after that too. I was hoping Case might turn up. I'm sure the coppers the other day said the village where he lived was down a small road next to a canal, and there were a lot of accidents along it. I did not want to chance it in the dark. By the time I finished the double king size, it was dark, so that was that. Not many people talked to me as my feet smelt so bad that no one came near me. The door was open, but it was chilly outside. I waited until about 7:30 in the morning before I loaded the bike and headed off in search of Case. The cobble was right about the roads being dodgy. The road was only about 10 feet wide, and there was a dyke at least on one side of it. No pavements or street furniture would have made it bad enough in daylight, never mind darkness, with a bit of mist coming into play. I was glad I had waited until morning. I've been dossing most of the day in a park beside a QS petrol station, a bit close to the road, but there is a beautiful tree I'm leaning against in the shade. I've had a good doze here, and as the sun is shining, I've been able to take off my boots and leathers. I'm sitting in my shorts, trying not to scratch the ringworm, pox or whatever it is. Man, it is itchy. It feels red hot when you rub it, and it's so hard to stop. I really am finding it hard to leave it alone. Sometimes I find myself scratching it in my sleep. Going back to this morning, I headed across the village where I thought Case lived. I found myself in a village where number 35 was a mobile home. I parked outside and waited until there were signs of life. I could see the place had children by the garden furniture. Sure enough, within half an hour, I could hear children and people moving about inside. Right. Ten minutes of that now. So that'll be the end of part 18, I think, or 17.